What's up, Forge Masters? Welcome in. You're here to get the most and the best out of your metal releases. My name is Benfo.
Brandon Green here to bring you our picks for the best metal albums of Bandcamp for April.
In this segment, we dive into the dungeons of Bandcamp to bring you some of our favorites in the underground metal for the month.
If you like content like this, hit that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel to continue to support new metal bands and to continue this underground discovery.
All right, let's kick open the doors to the crypts, slay some demons, and get into our picks for some killer underground metal.
Ildaruni, Beyond Unseen Gateways, released April 16th on Black Lion Records. Black metal bands seem to love leaning into the cultures of their homelands. I'm not complaining. Armenian-based Ildaruni have done exactly that on their fantastic debut, Beyond Unseen Gateways. When you say a band is along the lines of folk and pagan black metal, I typically think of the more modern versions of folk black metal with flutes and wind instruments and things like that. But Ildaruni add in elements of the second wave version of pagan black metal roots as well. You can clearly tell the band is embarking on historical and mythological tellings, utilizing elements of extreme metal, clearly balanced with wind instruments and a parkapsuk, basically which is an Armenian bagpipe. Ildaruni have done a fantastic job of capturing the feeling of wandering an outdoor mystical landscape, full of wonder and appreciation for all things of old. Beyond Unseen Gateways features 7 songs and epic 6+ minute scale with highly dense melodic black metal compositions rooted in cultural inspiration. For a debut album, these guys did a phenomenal job focusing on atmosphere, which made this record a highly addictive black metal tour of Armenian-inspired stories and heritage. Musicians and artists take note here on how you launch your debut beyond writing great music. They've got killer merchandise, a great online presence, and eye-catching artwork rooted in something personal, and fantastic promo pictures. 4.5 out of 5, Fortresses.
We make it a point to try and get at least one local band here on Underground Spotlight. It's just how we roll. We want to give back to our local community. Sometimes these bands are well known to us, and other times they're not. This next band falls into the category of not only unknown, but also completely brand new. Like, this band has new car smell to it. That level of brand new. The Watcher is one of today's local bands. This Boston-based traditional doom metal trio released their debut demo, Your Turn to Die, on World in Prison Records, April 1st. This was a total sleeper of a debut and absolutely needs to be played by fans of Trouble, Skepticism, and Cathedral. The music is led by Max First, a veteran in the Boston music scene, along with his counterpart, Chris Spracher. The music on this record is engaging. There's simply no fat on it. It's melodic, driving, and catchy as hell. The production is outstanding. I'm really loving the snappy, classic guitar tone, and the effects on the vocals are done very tastefully. Speaking of which, the vocal performance on this record is nothing short of astounding. Vocalist P. Reed delivers a unique, passionate performance that is in a baritone tenor range that you don't often hear performed with such finesse, paired along with this sort of upbeat variation of traditional doom metal. His voice really takes this music to a new level. Keep it up, Mr. Reed. Awesome job. Look, this is a 3-song demo that you're only getting a taste of this band, but goddamn, I want the whole entree. Make that a super double XL with extra sauce on the side. Please, extra vocal layers. Your Turn to Die is an outstanding demo that needs to be heard. For what it is, a 3-song demo debut from a band with 0 backlog, this is a 5 out of 5. Look out, Boston. The Watcher is coming and swinging that scythe.
Inoculation, Celestial Putridity, released April 8th on Maggot Stomp Records. Technical death metal is a fairly niche subgenre of death metal, and to be honest, I struggle with it a lot of the time. Cleveland, Ohio-based Inoculation have released something pretty special here with their sophomore follow-up to 2018's Pure Cosmic Dread. If you're new to these guys, they basically took roots of old school death metal, tech death, and sci-fi cosmic alien horror and threw everything together into this giant oozing extraterrestrial beast from another rotting side of the cosmos. I personally appreciate their touch of mixing old school death with tech death metal. I'm a much bigger fan of the groove and riff-oriented stank-faced appreciation of old school death metal. Tech death is a little bit tiring to my ears and typically falls into the rabbit hole of unnecessary showmanship instead of great songwriting. However, Inoculation have nailed the balance here with the tight 34-minute runtime of ripping death metal with absolutely no filler. This album is horrific, cosmic, and coined by the band as alien caveman shit, so naturally I was immediately sold. The production is fantastic with rad psychedelic sci-fi effects mixed in with that old school death metal, tech death, relentless fury all over the damn record. With the band just starting out, they've got some killer merch within their otherworldly alien death metal brand. They've got CDs, tapes through the Maggot Stop Bandcamp, and vinyl will be available in June. Holy Mountain Printing has some sick t-shirt designs as well for these guys, so be sure to grab something. They got their merch game on point, which is something we recommend all the time. 4 out of 5, Alien Monstrosities.
One of our favorite things, Forge Mates, is turning to you for some suggestions and tips on what to check out. We cannot do this alone, so we thank you for sharing some of your favorites with us. Josh Coe is always sharing really obscure stuff with us and other people, and today we're happy to present to you a Josh Coe pick with Frozen Orchard's debut album, The Ascendant. This band is made up of 2 lads from Finland and was started in 2019. It's pretty difficult to summarize exactly where this band fits in the metal subgenres. There's bits of post-black metal, shoegaze, melodic doom death, and folk metal. There are mid-tempo bangers with haunting chants and catatonia-inspired leads. There are also sections of beautiful acoustic guitar following a traditional folk pattern. Some of the parts do drone on a bit, but it's all the more satisfying when these segments finally reach resolution. I love the artwork on this. That teal color scheme is just, fantastic, and it really works for the mood that is presented on this album. It is simultaneously melancholic and inspirational. It balances those feelings of existential despair and eternal hope. This is a really powerful full-length debut from this deeply underground Finnish duo. Absolutely check out Frozen Orchard. I liked it so much, I gave it 4.5 out of 5 frozen pine trees.
Plague Wielder, Covenant Death, released April 2nd on Disorder Recordings. Another Ohio-based band, Plague Wielder are an interesting group with a massive range of influences across this fantastic record. It's difficult to coin what genre Plague Wielder falls under, but it's safe to say that if you enjoy blackened death metal and sludge, you will probably like the adventurous spirit of the band on Covenant Death. I've seen some other reviewers throw some shade at the band for having a little bit of an identity crisis, but personally I don't think that's fair, as most blackened sludge and doom bands don't explore possibilities as much within newer releases of that subgenre. This album is fantastically bleak, oozing with evil and atmosphere and very gloomy riffing. There's interesting experimentation with weird dissonant melodies underneath long groove sections, a haunting presence acting like glue that connects the pulsating filth permeating between black sludge and doom influences. It's not easy to keep a consistent mood and atmosphere with all of this experimentation going on, and in my opinion, Plague Wielder carved themselves an interesting niche in their world of blackened death sludge. I love the uniqueness of the vocals as well. The shouting style contrasted with the foreboding, dissonant, and gloomy atmosphere of Covenant Death's instrumental sections made for a really unique experience. I have a ton of respect for them too, because a lot of this release was DIY. Jeff Wilson, on bass, guitar, and synths, did a fantastic job with the engineering, mixing, mastering, and the album layout. They've also got a lot of really cool shirt and merch designs, so that's on point too. That killer album art done by Jeff Whitehead, awesome. Great branding, great album. Check these guys out. 4 out of 5 Bat Nights.
Boston-based stoner doom collective Conclave has released their sophomore album Dawn of Days through Argonauta Records on April 23rd of this year. Conclave has a roster of some very seasoned Boston musicians, including members of Warhorse, Desolate, and Benthic Realm. This is one of those cases where a bunch of musicians got together to pay tribute to one of their favorite genres of metal, and it lends to some very cohesive sounds. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this is my favorite variation of doom metal because it's not. It's not engaging and up-tempo enough for me to be captivated, but this is by no means a bad album. It's one of those slow, lumbering albums that heaves and lurches like a great molasses flood. That actually happened in Boston, by the way. Look it up, it's really interesting. Overall, if you like your doom low, slow, and full of smoke, get on top of this one. And for those of you who like those loud as hell bands, Conclave is a show that you're not gonna wanna miss when that becomes a thing. Dawn of Days gets 3 out of 5 Dimensional Gatekeepers.
What are some records that you're digging from Bandcamp this month? Drop a comment below.
As always, go with the gods, Forge Mates. Step through the gateways to annihilation. See you on the battlefields.